it's everyone's expectation that motorcycles and keke should be off the street by now. That's not our approach. Our approach is more from the standpoint of building a culture of safety. And this culture of safety doesn't start with motorcycle and keke, it goes to all road users. So we've been engaging at different levels. Education, which is a cardinal point, because most of the people who use the road do not even know anything about the road they're using, what the signs are, or what the regulations that govern the road surrounds. So we're working closely with civil society. We're working closely with different unions, schools, to ensure that the educational component is ongoing, and to build consensus. Like I said, the philosophy here is changing. It's more before, I mean, we would be ready to go and just start running people off the street. But no, I mean, things and times have changed. We're moving from force to service. So we've been engaging all of these different road users, including the motorcyclists and the keke riders, to come together so that we can now have an understanding. They came in, we showed them a lot of other cities, how these people operate. We told them our concern about their safety, and which is the most important thing. We told them what the requirements are as per the law. Driving and using the road is a privilege, it's not a right, and it comes at a cost. So if you're using it, you got to be able to meet that cost. You have to register your vehicle. You have to be able to provide insurance. So all of these things, I mean, they're not exempted, and if they're able to meet up with those requirements, they should be able to use the road. So, and the same reason why we would not allow a truck to go down Como Hill is the same reason why we would not allow motorcyclists and keke in certain areas. So, but we did not just come and say, oh no, you're not going to go here, you're not going to go there. We gave them a list, we brought them together, we brought them to the table, gave a list of places that we intend to restrict, and we sat down and we all agreed. They said, well, okay, if you know, we beg, we need this area. I said, okay, you go ahead, you can take it out. So after consultation, we've agreed on what the no-go zones will be. We've signed a memorandum of understanding with them and with civil society. And right now we're in a sensitization phase, and enforcement is going to begin by the 15th of May. So we've given sufficient time in between for education, consensus building, sensitization before we can even come to the enforcement component. And even with the enforcement, we're putting different layers in place so that it's not just they against the police, because we're trying to limit our interaction that could result into violence. There's a lot of exploitation of vulnerability that's ongoing from within the political space, trying to manipulate people in so many different regards, for civil disturbances and rioting in different areas. And this particular group is an extremely vulnerable group that is being exploited as well. So that's why we're carefully, it's not just because of that, but because we're managing the space in a way that we are responsible to preserve the peace. So we're doing everything methodically to ensure that while it is true you're acting in this space, you may be acting irresponsibly, but we as law enforcement professionals, we will do everything to ensure that the peace is kept. So it may be seen as we're being slow, but we're sure, definitely sure that once it starts, we're not going to have to commit all of our resources. We're now going to be relying on them. They have their own security structure, which will provide some level of training for, that will even be doing their engagement before it even reaches the police. So our involvement will be very limited with that, but we can assure you that once it starts, it will be sustained. We're looking at increasing our presence all over. We're deploying very smart technologies, looking at deploying smart technologies. The challenges are there, challenges will always be there, but we'll always find a way to work around it. Very limited at this point in time with the number of vehicles we have for operation in motorcycle, but I'm pleased to announce to you that we have gotten a first donation of 20 police vehicles that should be that are being shipped as we speak to Liberia, and we expect them to be here, I mean, within the period of 30 to 45 days. In addition to that, the economic management team and the economic management team and the debt management team as well have also accepted a proposal from a group called Dutch Health. And Dutch Health proposed that a package, a transportation package for the Liberia National Police in the tune of, I think, $5.13 million. And all we have to do is to provide the different specs of the vehicles that we want, and that's going to be purchased. The government would pay an upfront of 15%, and then over a period of 5 years, pay the rest of the money. So when that happens, we should be looking at within the next three to 4 months, an add-up of almost 80 additional police vehicles to include specialized vehicles, armored personnel carriers, troop carriers, and specialized vehicles customized for our terrain to enhance police operations. I know the key question that will follow will be, oh, but all the cars that come here, they're coming for all. Yes, I share the same concern. Police people, they're just from the same community members. They don't come from different places. The same attitude we have in the community is the same attitude that we bring here. It's all about being responsible to take care of what's being entrusted to you. And people have a way that once they get government property, they believe that it belongs to the government so it can be treated any kind of way. But there is a system being put in place here to guarantee the Liberian people that the monies that's being committed, taxpayers' money to pay for the equipment for us to improve our service, will be properly managed. There is a fleet management system being put in place. There's tracking. All of those vehicles are going to come with GPS tracking, so we know where they are to manage the fuel and to manage how they're deployed around the city. The fleet management company will ensure that the vehicles are serviced on time and that they're maintained. The good part about it, because they're all new, over the next 1 year, you have just maintenance, and once we can maintain them on time, then at least we'll be able to push it so that it doesn't go into repair immediately. But there are other policies that are going to be put in place to ensure that they're well protected. Like, we're not just going to have vehicles just given to people all over. It will be in the fleet. The fleet will have its own drivers licensed and trained to be able to operate those vehicles properly, just to give some level of comfort to the people. And there's one thing I always remind those who are privileged to have police power. You are there to protect life and property. Life and property. Anytime you're involved in an accident, you already failed as a police officer because you just couldn't protect the property that has been entrusted to you. And then you know the consequences that come along with that. I'm going to be asking for your support. Please, let's work together, share information with us. You all are out there. Everyone with a mobile phone right now is a journalist. Any inappropriate action you see, please send them to us. We do look at social media, and all of the things posted on social media that are inappropriate, we take action against them. I know there was a video being circulated with a police officer dancing on the ground and rolling a uniform. I told the deputy, the action must be posted everywhere that video. So now if you didn't watch it, you laugh, you should go down and read the comment section and see the action that LMP has taken against those officers. So I think that's a strategy that we're going to be deploying. That every time something negative comes out on social media and it's posted, because the information is going from there, when you see the shares, you see the number of views, let them also know that some action has been taken. I think we're still at the point where they say until the lion learns to write, the story will be told from the perspective of the hunter. So I don't think we have been very excellent at clearly communicating all of the good things and the actions that we take for accountability purposes, but we're going to improve it. Please help us out, share information with us. We appreciate all of the pieces of information we get out there. We don't see it as criticism, we see it as a means of improving our service delivery. All of the different videos that are being shared for these mob-related activities, they're being investigated. When the the video of the officers dancing first came up, I forwarded it to the deputy because I was away. And then when I called back for feedback, he said, "Oh, Chief, we're reviewing it. We're trying to find it." I said, "This is the problem. If you can't find few police officers wearing police uniform right in your organization, then how you even find the people who are involved in these mob issues?" 5 minutes later, the officer's name was submitted to me and action was taken immediately. So we're putting more effort. All of these videos going second by second, taking screenshots, getting their faces out. So at some point in time, we'll be putting all of those pictures out, even though we're looking for them, we'll be putting those pictures out for people to identify them, to help to identify them so that we can bring them in for prosecution. Because this thing about mob violence, it has to stop. It has to stop. Basically, you're just judging people right there on the scene, and most of the time, people are innocent. And even if they were guilty, it still doesn't give you the right to even treat them in a way that they're being treated. I mean, I am seriously concerned because the level of violence for young people, people who did not even experience the war, that are so ruthless in some of these videos. Look at what was done to that old lady. And so many other, look at the other lady who was accused for stealing bikes. I mean, just very brute, merciless actions of people around. We seriously condemn it, and we're going to go after them, we're going to persecute them. The first group we're going to catch will send a very clear signal that there's no space for it. While it is true that we know trust and confidence within the justice and rule of law sector is extremely low, there's been a shift in administration. So we ask that you all just give us the needed support so as to make some of these corrections to build trust. But mob violence has to stop. It has to stop. We'd like to encourage everybody out there who will run into a mob violence action to please ensure that they record all of these activities, record it and continue to share it. And if you can give us information about some of these actors, we will act immediately. So we've gotten a donation that will be delivered at the end of about mid-May, and that's going to be a great help to the LMP. So for the first time, we're going to be moving from our manual fingerprint collection to a digitized system. The Chinese government has donated to us a biometric system that will be set up here at the central headquarters with some mobile capabilities to capture fingerprints outside of the headquarters as well. So now at least we can now leverage the existing fingerprint databases from the likes of the Passport Bureau, the National Identification Registry, to be able to have some comparison of prints collected here when a crime occurs, and even beyond the crime occurring, to be able to verify the identities of people and to be able to give proper police clearances. So thanks to the government of the Republic of China for that donation. We are going to be engaging the LRA and holding consultations with them on the pricing, because we want to now improve the efficiency of all of these different requests that people have from police. You come here for police clearance is just $200 Liberian. For that $200 Liberian, everybody who comes for police clearance pays nothing less than $25 up to $50, which I was personally charged by someone who I called on the telephone to ask for police clearance. So I think it's just only fair enough. It's just only fair enough that we adjust the price and then come up with something that people can afford. And what we do, limit human interaction, improve how people can access this police clearance. So we want to move it more online, where you can fill up the form from online. The only thing you might have to come for will be your fingerprint collection and your interview. So that way, once you apply for it, you can go online. When it's completed, you're not going to have a paper printed again. You're going to go online and be able to pull it and verify it. And it will remain valid until the expiration date. So if you try to use that same police clearance once it expires, I mean, you will not be able to access it again. So I mean, there's a lot of good things in the pipeline, but if we still have to talk about all of them here, we're not going to end today, and I know there are tons of questions out there. So let me stop here for now and take some questions.
Okay.
As you all have seen over the last few days, there's been a serious increase in police patrol, not just on the main street, but within communities. We're strategically deploying officers to walk the beat in the communities because according to our crime stat, most of the crimes are occurring between 6 o'clock a.m. and 9 o'clock p.m. So we deploy from 9 o'clock p.m. to 6 o'clock in the morning. So the criminals just reverse it and say, okay, if you're pulling your officers back, we will start our operation. So now we're going after them according to what the stats are saying. It's informing us now to make more strategic deployments to be able to effectively provide the needed services. And since those deployments started, we've seen a reduction in crimes, and we are trying to see how we can even further expand our ability to collect more data so as to analyze them for more precise deployment mechanisms. So let me just leave it here, then we'll continue as soon as
we'll take your questions. Please call your name and the institution you represent. Let me take it first.
Yeah, good morning, Ajay. My name is Tazaki Mercy, right for the Independent newspaper. Concerning the issue in Kingdom, our one of those that visited the scene when the incident took place last week, and there were several individuals arrested by the Liberia National Police. And the report they gave really talked about officers being power to the surveillance and police control group. What about those that finalize the property, especially the police station that were going to Ajay?
Okay, so like I said to you, the investigation has two components: the officer involved shooting and the criminal component. So, as you may be aware, we have only 48 hours, up to 48. We don't have 48 hours. We have up to 48 hours according to the mathematical calculation for legal detention. We have not gotten all of the parties to fully complete the investigation. The Mountain is still waiting for them to provide the cost of everything that was destroyed from their end as well. So that's a major part that's still missing from the investigation, and we're still talking to the members of the communities before we conclude it. So those who were arrested were guaranteed to be brought back when all of the information is collected and we're ready to continue the investigation. We released them, even though the people who were arrested were amongst those who were being accused of burning the police station and the police barrack. But I mean, it's nothing personal. It is the law that we're enforcing. So we can say, well, because we burn our barrack, we'll keep you in jail until the investigation is over. No, we release them to their lawyers, and once we're ready for them, we're going to ask them to be brought back for the investigation to continue.
Yeah, ma'am.